I thought this was going to be an easy video to make. The Canucks would trade Thomas Vanek for a draft pick. That would be it. I'd be done, but no, Jim Benning just likes to throw all of us for a loop. In the wise words of Matt Murray, all you can do is laugh. I've had a really hard time trying to figure out how I want to make this video. I've spent maybe the past 2-3 hours stopping, restarting, redoing the video, and it got to the point where I was thinking to myself, maybe I don't even want to make this video. I'm tired of being negative. I don't want to be negative. And then I came to the realization that I do want to make this video, and I do want to make this video to maybe alleviate some of the pain that you guys are feeling by laughing what I went through in the past 24 hours of this trade deadline. I'm a big offender of this, and maybe some of you guys are too, and it's something that I'm trying to get better at, but sometimes I just take myself way too seriously, and I really just forget to laugh at the situation that I'm in. So yesterday, during the trade deadline at the last hour, when the Canucks traded Thomas Vanek to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Tyler Motte and Jussi Jokinen, I literally went through the 5 stages of grief. And this is over a hockey team. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a diehard Canucks fan. My priorities in life probably go air, water, food, friends and family, shelter, and then the Vancouver Canucks in that order. But I literally had to step outside of class because I was so upset that Thomas Vanek was traded for Tyler Motte and Jussi Jokinen. That to me seems a little ridiculous when I think about it. The first stage of grief is denial, and when I first heard the trade break, I was like, there's no way, you have to be kidding me. Who is this source anyways? And then I go and look, and it's the Bob father, Bob McKenzie, and I'm like, oh, that's a really weird way to spell 4th round pick, Bob. And then I went into the second stage of grief, which is anger, and during my class, I was furious. I wasn't even paying attention to the lecture. I was just on Twitter scrolling, just trying to make sure that this was actually happening, that the Canucks weren't going to get a draft pick in this year's trade deadline. I was angry. When John Shannon tweeted out that the players being sent to Vancouver might not actually be finalized, I thought I was being all snarky and smart, going, oh, they must have checked Twitter or something. My friend and I were just angrily texting to each other about what was happening, and I was like, so excited for 3 more years of Jim Benning. And then the third stage of grief hit. I was starting to bargain. I was trying to find just something that would make this trade okay. Maybe Tyler Motte wasn't actually only a 4th line potential guy. Maybe there was something there, and I just started reaching. I started looking up highlights, trying to convince myself that maybe he was okay. I started looking up his stats, some of his advanced stats in the AHL, scouting reports, anything to make it seem like, okay, maybe Tyler Motte is something that, maybe we're all sleeping on Tyler Motte. I even tweeted out, Tyler Motte isn't as bad as you think. Once I realized that I was desperately trying to tell myself that everything was okay, that's when I slipped into the 4th stage of grief, depression, and I tweeted out this. I quoted my Tyler Motte isn't that bad tweet and said, this is a bad tweet, LOL. I'm at the point where I'm trying to convince myself everything will be okay. I'm taking a break from Twitter today. I just don't have the energy. And I walked right out of class just to go for a walk because I couldn't handle it. My day was ruined because the Canucks weren't able to get a 4th or 5th round pick for Thomas Vanek. In the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of life, sports fandom is ridiculous. And now I'm in the 5th stage of grief, acceptance. I've accepted the fact that my ideals don't align with whatever management's direction and ideals are. I've accepted the fact that we've set the bar so low for them at this year's trade deadline. All they had to do was trade Thomas Vanek for a pick, and all of Canucks Nation would have been happy. But that didn't even happen. I've accepted it, and I've accepted that as Canucks fans, all we can really do now is pray to the hockey gods that we somehow land a lottery pick. And I get that Benning was saying no one was offering picks for Vanek, there wasn't a huge market for Vanek, but your job as a general manager is to negotiate, not just to take it lying down, not just to take it on other teams' terms. You should have been trying to move Vanek 2 weeks before the market was set. So many other players were getting draft picks. Brandon Bollig went for like a 7th or a 6th. I'll end it on a positive note. The Philip Holm for Brendan Leipsic trade, I am a huge fan of. Big fan of Brendan Leipsic and his game. He's feisty, he's skilled, and it was a great in terms of asset management, it was a great move. They signed Philip Holm this year as a free agent. Has some offensive upside, but it doesn't sound like Travis Green really trusted him that much at 5-on-5 in his own zone. So the fact that they were able to turn Philip Holm into something better than for Thomas Vanek is, one, a little confusing, but two, at least there's a good move there. The day wasn't a complete wash. And yeah, that's gonna do it for my thoughts on the trade deadline. Hopefully you can laugh at me and the circumstance that I was in, or maybe that helped you take a step back and realize, man, this is just a hockey team, even though it's our favorite hockey team and we want them to do well. Grand scheme of things, not a huge deal. I'm done. I am tired about talking about this management group. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I think you all know how I feel about the management group. But as a 20-year-old talking head, there's not a lot that I can really do to fix that. 3 more years of Jim Benning. Praise Trader Jim. Please don't copyright this video or something, or flag this, just because I don't know where I'm going. I'm tired. Midterms. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Canucks Last Week. Goodbye.